Hey, everybody, welcome to today's edition of the Marketing Happy Hour. And to you folks on Instagram, I'm only going to be here a little while and then we're heading back over to Facebook or YouTube, your choice. What happens if you run out of things to say? And how do you overcome that fear? I'm Dr. Christopher Vogelmann. With me, as always,
I'm John Paduchak.
You can't see him Instagram, but there he is, John Paduchak.
I'm right here.
There you are.
I'm hiding from your Instagram.
Say hello to John.
Hey, Instagram.
Hey, Instagram.
What up?
What up? What up? Four up. Some up.
Or as we should say, K Pasa Instagram.
K Pasa Instagram. Why would we now, John? Why would we say K Pasa Instagram?
Hey, because Dr. V, we found out that Kayvon is in Mexico City.
Yeah. So Dr. Kayvon Kay, just a couple hours before, told us that he was in Mexico City with his simple little hola. And so what I think is happening is he's fomenting some sort of a revolution there. And this is what he's looking like right now. He's got the microphone and he's given somebody the finger, but it's the index finger instead of something else. So
yeah.
Bastard. Did I say that? No.
You did out loud. I heard it.
I did say that.
I heard it.
So once again, Instagram, come on over.
Yeah.
Over to the Facebook or to the YouTube, because I'm going to run out of time here on Instagram Live because my unfortunately my phone is a little low on batteries. So yeah, it's sad but true. Hey, and speaking of sad but true,
yep,
you often talk about some of the problems that people have. Actually, your four basic fears.
They are. Do you remember what they are?
I remember one of them is the lack of camera confidence.
Yes.
Now, it has nothing to do with your voice, really, but how you look on camera and being afraid.
Pretty much. Do you know another one?
Another one is the fear of the technology or the equipment.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
This is where it gets hard. Another one is the fear of not knowing what to say or running out of things to say. Are they one and the same thing, or are they separate?
They're the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are only three basic fears instead of four.
And now that I made you do them, I can't remember the fourth one.
Now you can't remember the fourth one. I thought you split them into one. One was, kind of like you didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Or you may have had imposter syndrome or something like that. And the other one was that you would run out of things to say. What was it?
Yeah. Most people have the fear of showing up.
Looking foolish, or
they're afraid of looking foolish. So most people are afraid of looking foolish, or that what they say doesn't have meaning to other people,
right?
Or all of that. And I assure you that you're right. The correct audience for you, anything you say has meaning to them. So
exactly,
you resonate with a particular audience.
You got to find your tribe.
I think the mistake that most people make is they look at live video as they look at marketing. Most companies look at marketing as, we want to attract everybody to our business. Well, that's not true. You want to attract the right people to your business. And if you say you're going to resonate with a certain crowd, you don't want to resonate with everybody. You want to resonate with a crowd that appreciates you and is your natural audience. So don't try to appeal to everyone.
Yeah, trying to appeal to everyone means you're going to wind up attracting no one.
No one.
Fast.
Right. Very fast.
No one fast.
Yeah. So this is a great conversation to have today because it's one of the classics that everybody has a fear of.
It's a classic, like classic rock.
Could be.
Or MTV. we used to say, what was it? That video killed the radio star. So, but people need to be good on video nowadays, because we're saying that at least some of the stats we looked at were that 83% of all internet traffic coming in 2022, which is only less than 2 months from now, is going to be video. And so if you're not on the video bandwagon, you are going to be I don't know, out of luck. You'll be in the dust in a land of tumbleweeds.
You really will be, especially where we've been experimenting a lot with shorts and all of that. It's kind of a natural form that's following along.
I am wearing long pants today, though, as opposed to shorts.
Me too. It's too cold here for that.
It's freezing here. It's 70 degrees.
It's colder than that here.
Okay, so Instagram, I'm turning you off for a bit. If you want to learn more, please come over to the Book of Phases or to YouTube. So you're going to be,
of you.
we're killing you right now, Instagram. There you go. Bye. There we go. Hey, so that was a short form live for sure. And if we're going to share the video, I want to save it here. There we go. Okay, I'll save it for later. Hey, so let's talk a little bit about running out of things to say. And I think the part of it may be, I mean, almost all of it's mindset, for God's sakes. I mean, it's like, it's an issue of self-worth, as you said.
It's 100% mindset. And it's more than just an issue of self-worth. It's getting beyond that issue of self-worth. So it's,
wait, so when you get beyond it, where are you?
Yeah, well,
as opposed to like Wayne's World, I am not worthy. We are not worthy.
You know, it's kind of, you got to push your way through that unworthiness that you feel.
Push it. Well, I think it's, and the other thing is that everybody, when we run into problems, and we used to call this the law of relativity when I was teaching classes to doctors all across the US and Canada. So the law of relativity is one of our Hermetic principles, which basically says you compare one thing to another. So if you're comparing yourself to say, you're a life coach and you're comparing yourself to, say, Tony Robbins or Brendan Burchard, you're going to feel way, way down, you know, compared to their accomplishments and their ability to speak on the fly, do it extemporaneously, etc. And on the other hand, if you are comparing yourself, your present self, to your past self, that is actually very valuable. And so I think that, you know, the very first time that you do a video, let's say any video, but although live we prefer because it's so much easier to do. It's more forgiving,
way more.
And so if you so it's just like if you look at Gary Vee sometimes. So Gary Vaynerchuk started doing this, was it the wine library or was the wine something or other? I can't remember, but he did these wine videos way back in the day, and they're terrible. Now, the good news is when you first start out doing videos,
you're going to be terrible.
Well, yeah, but nobody's watching, so it's okay to be terrible because over time you'll start to attract more and more people. But your confidence, your camera confidence that you talk about, John, all the time, is dependent upon your experience, and the only way you're going to get experience is by doing it.
It's true.
Not reading about it. So what types of So where would you get topics to speak about? Let's say, well, I mean, pick a niche, any niche.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the most important thing is to realize that you're an expert in something, right? There's something that we could speak infinitely about.
Kitchen remodeling, for example.
I could definitely speak about that right now.
And why is that?
I'm remodeling my kitchen.
You're remodeling your kitchen.
I'm remodeling my kitchen. So yeah, I mean, there are things that we could easily speak about, and I could speak about remodeling a kitchen and hiring help for that, and probably a dozen things that people would want to know about.
I think, you know, one individual who's often here, Dr. Kayvon Kay, could speak about ditching your compatriots for a trip
to go to
that
Mexico.
You didn't tell him about. Yeah. So I'm sure he's going to have many taco tales from Mexico.
Yeah, I hope so.
I can't resist that. I got that Kayvon thing going. I mean, he bills himself as, what was it, the simplifier, the implementation coach. But here I think he's implementing a revolution in the center of the city.
There you go. Middle of Mexico City. Love it.
Anyway, so if you pick it, so let's say kitchen remodeling, for example, and a lot of our viewers, regardless of you know, whether you're a doctor or you're a small business owner or you're just, you know, an average Jane or average Joe, have had experience remodeling a kitchen or know of somebody who's been remodeling the kitchen, and all the different problems. Like you said, that what is it today that you neutered your kitchen?
Yeah, I tore the rest of it out.
Everything out. So everything's gone. Cabinets are gone.
Empty room.
It's an empty room.
So
you could turn it into a billiard room instead, you know, with a little wine cellar.
I don't know where I'd eat though. That'd be a problem.
Yeah, on the table. You just got to put a tablecloth on there near the side pocket.
Right. So I mean, but there's so many different things, different parts to it. So, but we could do this with any subject. But we'll do this one. So let's say
take the kitchen one, just because this is fun. We've never done this before.
We've never talked about remodeling a kitchen. So I mean, what are some of the things that people would want to know about? So people would probably want to know about, geez, I can't do everything myself. How do I work with a general contractor to help me to do my kitchen?
How do I hire a good one?
If I want to do some of the work myself, how do I work with that contractor? How do I find subcontractors to do the stuff that I just don't want to do, like the painting and the drywall and the mudding and all of that stuff? What
The
are the
design.
different?
The
Yeah,
design. Do you want
the
an
design.
island or no island?
Sure, and that's a big thing. I couldn't fit an island. I got a tiny kitchen. I live in New England, so no island for me.
Well,
But
there's Martha's Vineyards and Martha's Vineyards, and
we do have islands. Yeah, that's true.
there are islands.
But we are adding a lot of space to our kitchen, so this time around we're putting a big L-shaped kitchen in, and we moved things around in a little bit, so we were able to do that, and we opened up space into our dining room, so now I can see my front yard. So get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Get off
Yeah,
my lawn.
As John ages and gets crankier, he's
I
coming
know.
into my club, which is the Get Off My Lawn
The Get
Club.
Off My Lawn Club.
That's
We could talk
exactly right.
about that.
You could, yeah. It's like what was it? Was it Gran Torino where
Gran Torino.
Clint Eastwood says, "Get off my lawn."
Get off my lawn. Exactly.
Uh,
Gran Torino.
But if you're in business, let's say that, if you were the contractor, you probably would want to talk about all the different problems that
Sure.
people could find, that the drywall is not matching, the floor, the flooring, subfloor is bad, your joists are terrible, you got to sister your joists, sister, things like that.
Yeah.
But in our neck of the woods, let's say that you wanted to talk about, well, we are talking about video right now, but let's say you were going to talk about branding. For example, let's say that you're going to talk about branding. So so different things you can talk about relative to branding. You can talk about your message, for example.
Yeah, the message is very important. And
talk about
you
your
talk
values.
about what you want your logo to look like.
Yeah.
And how it reflects on what you do.
What are your brand colors?
Like Meta.
Last week's program was all about Meta, and then will Meta be better? Where the jury's out on that one.
Jury's out on that one.
We think it's gonna be a hung jury.
Could be,
at least for quite some time. But when it comes to doing different things, so the question is, I think people have this notion that you have to be like the major authority in the world on a particular subject, or, you have to be a master of subject matter. But the reality is that you just need to know more than your audience does. And they will come to you because they know, like, and trust you, or know, love and trust you. And also because they just, as you said earlier, they'll resonate with you because you have a particular flavor that they would savor.
There's something with your personality or that's appealing to them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they like your quirky sense of humor. Maybe they love your beard or your goatee.
It's all
maybe they have a thing for bald guys.
Hey,
what was the domain? It was hot. Was it sexy bald guys or
hot bald guys?
Hotbaldguys.com.
Yeah.
Did you grab that one or no?
I did not grab that. No.
That would have been great. Sorry, can you imagine the traffic to that? Hot bald guys? Yeah, like Mr. Clean should be your logo. That would be just awesome. So you can also talk about, a lot of times people can just do curated content, because you think about every news magazine, think about magazines and newspapers in general. Most of the material that they get is just curated content. I know Rob Moore in the UK, he does something lately. Was the disruptive entrepreneur, and he does breaking news segments. And so, for example, when Facebook changed its name to Meta, the company name, he immediately came out with a breaking news. This is what's happening. But it's a way, they call it newsjacking, which is just to take on something that is popular and that is currently trending in social media as well as general media, and then just start talking about it and then put your own spin on it.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about that, especially for so many of the things that we do. Maybe there's something that comes out about a new camera and you can put your spin on it. Or it's what this kind of reminds me a lot of. It reminds me a lot of affiliate marketing.
Affiliate marketing.
You and I have been doing some stuff with affiliate marketing lately with video, and so one of the things that's very common with affiliate marketing is the open box videos and
unboxing
unboxing videos. Yeah, the unboxing.
It's like the Uncola.
There you go. But there's always something that we can comment or give commentary on, or, oh, I've tried this product and it worked amazing for me. And let me tell you about it and why it worked great. So, I mean, there's always that kind of review.
Yeah, I was
You
going to
know,
say the review
yeah,
element's very interesting because
yeah,
when
yeah,
if you get these DVDs of different music, they'll have like the director's comment version, so you can
sure,
listen to that, and they'll talk about all the different things that went on into something. But also, people are watching even video games, spending endless hours watching other people play video games and giving commentary on these other people. So the reality is that you have so many things that you can talk about, and they don't have to be, they don't have to be even on your particular subject matter, because you can put your particular spin on just about anything. You can put your spin on, the cost of post-it notes is rising terribly as we have
sure.
shortages throughout the United States. What does that mean for you and me, and the price of beef and food prices, et cetera, et cetera? Or you can say something like, I had to shovel my walk today. I can't believe there was a foot of snow in San Diego. There's definitely some climate change going on around
And
here.
then big in Japan.
And I am big in Japan. That's a joke. Well, so here's what happened. Several years ago, I used Traffic Geyser, which was Mike Koenig's program, and I did a whole series of chiropractic videos, and I shot them out there into the internet, and they would syndicate these things all over the world, including Yahoo.jp, JP for Japan and all these
Sure.
others. And I was extremely popular in Japan, more so than I was in the United States.
You just got to eat a big fat cheeseburger and you'd be popular. And
I'm big in Japan. If the Koreans start watching me eat food. So,
I know. That's
anyway,
the thing there.
but that's the thing too. So the reality is
Mukbang.
that what?
That's what's called, mukbang.
Oh, mukbang?
I had to think of the name of it. That's what's, yeah.
Is it mukbang?
Mukbang.
MUK?
Something like that. I don't know how they spell it, but yeah, that's what it's called when you eat food and everybody watches you on video.
Wow. Should we start doing that?
I don't know, maybe it's a thing.
I mean, be kind of interesting, actually, when you think about it.
I had a friend
Hey,
of
we
mine
do.
had a YouTube channel in Japan, and that's all he does. He and his sons go out and eat at different places in Japan and film it. It's pretty interesting.
You're probably very popular too.
Yeah,
But then that's the thing. I mean, the food that you like to eat, the sports teams that you're rooting for, there's an endless array of topics that you can
all
talk
kinds
about.
of
And
things.
or even just, simple things. I mean, you don't have to, bare your soul to the world about your divorce or something like that, but you can certainly talk about, yeah, we had a little bit of a fight here the other night, and I wound up because I forgot to take out the trash. That kind of thing actually humanizes you and makes you someone who is approachable and a real human being. And I like what several people have told me the same thing, which is that which is most personal is most universal. So if you share a little bit about your personal life as you do your own personal branding or even your company branding, you'll find that people will resonate with you. They'll say, "Oh, you've got a stepson. I've got a stepson too," or "You have,
RV.
You have an RV?
I got an
I've
RV.
got an RV. Why don't we get together and form an RV association? Maybe the RVHBA, the RV Home Business Association, so that you too can get passive income."
Hey, how about that?
How about that? But
I'm
that's
into
something
it.
that you can talk about, and I don't even own an RV.
I
So,
know. I know. No, but it's true. There's always one thing that we're passionate about that we can start talking about. And I would
and
say
you
start there. Start there first.
but you can tie things in too. Let's say that
Mhm.
you're passionate about fishing, for example, and
I
then
am.
and at the same time you are passionate about marketing. Well, you can somehow weave in your interest in fishing and casting your reel and hooking hooking potentially a prospect into your particular social ecosystem using a landing page and maybe some call to actions and things like that. But you can relate the personal content into your business and basically weave things together so it's almost seamless. But that just comes with practice.
Sure. It does.
Dead air.
Yeah.
Dead air is the worst thing.
So you said something there that I was thinking of a adjunct to.
You mean the fishing where
I
you
know
hook a
I know
clam?
what I was going to say. So the other thing that's really big, and it actually is one of the things that brought you and I together, is the fact that having somebody to practice with or having somebody to do videos with makes it easier. So I find it very difficult to talk by myself, but it makes it super easy having somebody to talk to.
Yeah, and so it's interesting because you'll see that if you can tag team, it makes it a whole lot easier. It flows a little
It
more
does.
naturally. On the other
It's like a
hand,
conversation.
depending on the number of people who show up to your live videos, it's another story. But I would say that I've also seen people who will simply interview somebody in a setup somewhat like this, and they'll just cut out the other person, and then this becomes the video where it was just sort of a Q&A interview question type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could just highlight one individual or so. Like it could all be about me, and you could be interviewing me the whole time, and then we just cut this thing out and repurpose it as a video for YouTube, perhaps.
There you go. Why do I want to do that?
Well, why not? Why not?
Yeah, I think something that I found very interesting. I was reading something from my friend Ryan Lee the other day, and Ryan was saying that he was listening to a bunch of podcasts. So podcasts and video casts like this, obviously very similar, except you actually see us while you're listening to us. And so he was saying that he was just bored to tears listening to the traditional interview things and how
Well, they're all
much.
the same. They're all the
Yeah,
same
they're all the
stuff,
same, kind
and
of,
they're the same guests. That's what's really
over
something.
and over again.
So if you have somebody's doing social media posting for Facebook, or let's say they're doing Facebook ads, they
Yeah,
pull in the same 5 or 6 people on all of these shows, and you've pretty much heard the same spiel over and over and over again, and then you're just
nonstop.
like, I don't want to hear one more thing.
No, and I think it's important, if you are a regular guest on different people's shows, or you're trying to get yourself out there, try to vary it up a little bit.
Yeah,
Add,
change it up, but
yeah, man, get
change it up,
stale
Buttercup.
otherwise,
Change it up, Buttercup.
for
You
sure.
gotta you gotta make things more interesting. That's for sure. The other thing is, don't be afraid to show your real personality. I think that's part of the thing. When you're
Yeah.
people freeze, they got that deer in the headlights look. Now what do I do? And the reality is that you can even. Here's the other thing that's really good. If things get screwed up in your broadcast, you can talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how my tripod just fell over right in the middle of my broadcast? Well, folks, that's what happens when you go live. When you're going live, it's like walking a tightrope over Niagara Falls without a net. So
It is.
but people can relate to that if they can see that even you flub up and are imperfect. And I think that's the beauty of live video,
Well,
because live video is very forgiving for the
it
imperfections.
is. And if things go bad when you're walking that tightrope, you don't just jump off. You keep walking.
Or you just hang on for dear life.
Yeah, but I mean, you just keep going. So I mean, the same is really true here. So I like that analogy.
Yeah, but I think that for most people, probably it's the camera confidence is the biggest one,
Big one.
But I do think that the worrying about what am I going to say, what if I have nothing to say, is super important, because as you mentioned earlier, you are an expert in something.
Sure.
I mean, it could be in cooking. Maybe you make the best watermelon or in vodka infused watermelon, east of the Mississippi.
That sounds
You
good.
have your own special. It does sound pretty good, especially if it's hot in the summer. And you have this special tap that you use to open up the watermelon, and just the right amount of booze to put into the watermelon. I mean, this is but people will respond to that type of thing.
Anything.
And it doesn't have to be in your specific area of expertise. For example, John is big on video marketing and live video and coaching people to do live video, but he can talk about kitchen remodeling, or you can talk about colors.
I could talk about RV repair and remodeling.
What color to paint your RV? I mean, you can talk about RVs. You can talk about detailing an RV, installing solar panels in RVs. You can talk about cooking inside your RV,
or outside your RV. I like
or outside your RV, or cooking, or which are the best parks to go to in New England, in your RV, that type of stuff. So there's endless amounts of content for you. And here's the other thing. You mentioned this earlier, and I think it's really significant, which is you just have to give your opinion on something.
Right.
That's all you have to do. I mean, I can pick up a magazine, and I can turn to a page in the magazine, and I can say, well, COVID has been a really big thing here. Wait, if I could find this part of the ant Rosetta Stone, says E.O. Wilson, he's one of my former professors, I could speak to a fire ant colony and tell them where to go for food. So let's talk about ants
Just
today and the communication of ants.
Not my camper.
And let's talk about, ants are not going to be in John's camper, but also that John was fascinated with life as an ant colony.
I was.
During the pandemic.
In fact, I was fascinated with that. It was the fastest growing Facebook group I have ever seen in my life.
So how fast did it grow?
I don't know what it's I haven't looked at it in quite a while.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it's up to now. It's got to be millions of people. I bet it's millions.
Speaking of millions of people, we have the potential to reach millions of people with live video. We do know, however, that most of you are not watching live. The great majority of you watch it on replay. So please use, when you're leaving comments or having questions, please use the hashtag replay so that we get an alert. And also it helps to sprinkle the social media fairy dust all over our little broadcasts. So, yeah, more fairy dust.
Sprinkling fairy dust.
Oh man, plenty of social media fairy dust. Yeah. So where would you recommend people look for topics, for example, if they want to curate content?
I think the best way to look for topics is, have you ever gone to, how you go on to Google and you start to type what you're interested in, and then it fills in the blanks for you, or it'll even give you a listing of different topics under that topic. So whenever I go to do plan out a bunch of broadcasts, I'll go over to Google. I know roughly what I'm going to talk about, and I can just kind of start typing it in and see what the search terms start to populate, because that's what people have interest in and are actually searching for. So that's how I do it.
Yeah, I was typing in, where is Dr. Kayvon Kay today, and apparently nobody's really looking for him.
So apparently nobody really cares, except
we were looking. We were looking for him. But as I said before, we actually found him right here.
Right here.
Speaking before groups of Mexicans. I don't know what his Spanish is like, though. That's the only thing.
I'm working on the next Mexican Revolution. I'm
a little concerned. Yeah, he looks a little like Pancho Villa with a mic.
Oh, he does a little. I noticed that.
A little bit.
Yeah. Just saying. Anyway. This is what you get when you leave home.
Yeah. Don't leave from home. Don't leave from home. Don't leave us out of there, because we're gonna make sure that you'll be subject to abuse. So speaking of abuse,
yes,
are people? So if you're thinking you're running out of things to say, is that part and parcel of the fear of ridicule? Like if you have dead air or something, or if you just say, "Oh, I have nothing left," that you may run the risk of embarrassment?
Well, and the fear of ridicule kind of goes together with I don't think I have anything meaningful to say that people will resonate with. And the answer is, we all have something meaningful to say that people will resonate with, and not to let that stop you. And you're going to be horrible before you're great. And so you just do your laps, and eventually you get faster.
As I like to say, great minds shred cheese.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think part of that too has to do with the idea that, I think we all are possessed of the idea that we have to have something super original. But when you think about it, many things that have become extremely successful, like, for example, the iPhone, or the iPad, the tablets, and that sort of thing, they weren't the people who made them popular and improved upon them. They weren't the first to market.
No, but I think you're right in one sense. The more original something is that you're going to talk about, the more interested it probably will be in it, because it's uniquely different from what other people are talking about.
I was just thinking, the other thing is, you don't necessarily, the thing about some people may worry about, if I run out of things to say, that you have to be entertaining. It's not like you're going to have to be dancing on TikTok all day long to be good in video, because not everybody always wants to be completely entertained. I mean, you can be a little bit entertaining insofar as just being yourself and being, asking people questions and just carrying on a good conversation as if you were, at a party.
Right.
Don't be the jerk at the party who introduces himself and sells life insurance.
I used to sell life insurance.
Oh, did you go to parties? Did you go to parties and offer whole life at the very beginning?
I know.
Don't do it.
I get
Don't
abused
do it.
about that all the time.
Don't
Hey,
do it.
but the other thing that that works really well, and it fits in with what to say, is limiting yourself to a time limit. So we have a
True.
lot of friends who do little short snippet videos, and they'll answer a particular question from their audience on video. And I think those are awesome because they're very short, they're very concise, and most people are going to listen through those because they're under 5 minutes.
Well, and this comes into something we're
So,
talking about too, which is the short form videos, which are 15 seconds up to 60 seconds. Now, I think
yeah.
TikTok gives you up to 3 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. But for the most part, the things that we've been experimenting with are YouTube Shorts, which offer you at 15 and 60. Instagram Reels offer you 15 seconds for stories, but they do offer you 15 or 30 or 60 seconds for an Instagram Reel. And playing with these short form videos are very interesting. I sometimes find it easier to, and this is, I guess, unusual because other people have been telling me, no, I can't possibly do something in 15 seconds or 60 seconds. I'm getting used to the idea of almost doing something in the length of time of a commercial.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think that whole thing started when we started looking at HiHos.
Yeah.
Because HiHos got the 5-minute video limit.
Yeah, the 5-minute limit.
And what I discovered is I actually found myself rambling a little bit in 5 minutes. I don't think there wasn't hardly anything that I couldn't answer in 3 minutes or less.
Well, but here's the thing. You're not required to do 5 minutes, just like Instagram Reels. You're not even required to do 15 seconds. I've done reels I've done reels that were 7 seconds, and I've seen some really popular ones that were 9 seconds long. They didn't even take advantage of the full 15 seconds.
So, that brings up a good point. So whenever we've got the space, we always feel like we got to fill the void, right? I go to all these online networking group meetings, and everybody's like, well, you got like 5 minutes. And I watch all these people, and they'll take 5 minutes to go on and ramble about what they do and and try to fill in every little detail. And it's too much. I find I just can't. One, I can't pick up a single thing that I find interesting about that per se. It's hard, but I'll typically come on and I'll go through in like maybe 2 minutes and just say,
what about
this is what I do, and
what about the value of repetition? Because you may have said something at the beginning of your video, and then it may be worth repeating again and again, which is like, hey, maybe one of the reasons that you're afraid of running out of things to say, it might be an issue of self-worth, it might be a mindset thing, it might be the notion that you don't really see yourself as an expert, even though everybody is an expert at something. So I've just repeated a number of those things. And for somebody who's listening now and may have missed the very beginning, or they're hearing it one more time, that may resonate with them, and just kind of repetition is the key to learning, and it may have created one more little pathway in your brain to remind you.
I do think though you got to be a little cautious about it.
Did I just screw up? My self-worth is in danger right now.
No. I mean repetition in the right way, because sometimes I get people who repeat themselves frequently, and I start to wonder whether they're having memory issues. Because they'll keep coming back and they'll repeat this and that over again. And sometimes
I know one person in particular.
Yeah. And so you don't want to come across like that. So I think there's a strategy to doing that and doing it correctly. And
always putting, I mean, even in your most so-called professional live stream videos, if you choose to do live stream, you can still put an element of your personal life in there too. Absolutely. Saying, like I just was out in the rain. I didn't have my umbrella. I was soaking wet. I just threw on some clothes. I have yet to dry my hair, but hey, I'm here on time for you.
I didn't dry my hair either.
I know you did.
No problem there though. I'll work
no problem.
Yes.
So speaking of no problems, hopefully this has been somewhat valuable. Do you have any parting words for people? This has actually gone pretty fast today.
Yeah, it has gone pretty fast. No,
that's because you know why it went fast today? It went fast today because we didn't have this guy talking the whole time.
Yeah, what an anchor. Boat anchor. Hey, so going back to this, so no, I think there's a couple real simple things to in just recapping, and that is start with short videos, do videos with a friend, come up with a list of topics, maybe use Google to do that. That's a great strategy that works well for me.
Do interviews.
Do interviews. Interviews work out really well.
It's easy. You just ask a bunch of questions.
Yeah, and try to be unique in your content and not like everybody else. Because I do agree with Ryan when he says that, oh my gosh, I'm bored to tears because I keep hearing the same garbage over and over and over again. And I think there's a lot of that. We do get a lot of that. So try to find your unique spin on everything.
And when it comes to the unique spin, I would say, everybody keeps throwing up these, inspirational quotes and yeah, for somebody else. My philosophy is quote yourself. And one of the things that I've done over the last several years, in fact, is within Apple Notes, if I have a little post that worked really well or a comment that people loved, I will copy that comment. I'll stick it in for future reference because I know that it resonated with somebody. And that provides me with material. I mean, at this point, I could go back to my notes, and I probably could rattle off 100 videos just based on the little snippets that I've collected over basically curating my own content.
Very easily, I could do that too. And then I think the last message is you're worthy. You have something to say that somebody else needs to hear. So don't think that you shouldn't say it.
Yeah, and as John said earlier, don't try to be all things to all people because you will
get out of your head.
Well, and that's just practice. It's practice, and you won't be good at the beginning. You will get better and better. I mean, you may be good at the beginning, but then you're going to be great later.
You're just going to be you're going to improve as time goes on.
And be more natural about things, because if you come up here with a monotone, it's like, I want to talk to you today about video marketing. Video marketing is something that every business should do. Did you know that video marketing would be 83% of the internet traffic in 2022? Poor John is just,
well,
it's human somnics.
You brought up another really good point. So I'm going to end on this one because I think this is a good one. So I during this time have not been very close to my mic. You have been very close to your mic.
I've been almost swallowing my mic. No.
But I want to say that for the people out there, for you guys out there, can you hear the difference? Now I've gotten closer to my microphone.
I'm very close to mine, but I don't take it to bed.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Anyways, so the reason I bring this up is because there's a whole concept that a lot of people do video and they don't really optimize for the sound quality.
Right.
And it's really important to optimize it for the sound quality, because at the end of the day, that's what really gets people's attention first. They feel your voice, and the resonance helps there too.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
So it does make a huge difference.
Well, it does, and it's because we also know that a lot of people will be listening to videos while they're open. They have different tabs open in their browser, working on something else. Yeah. So your audio quality is big.
Especially people as old as you and I. We remember listening to things on. We remember listening to things on the radio when we were kids and with our parents, and that the voice quality is what attracted you to the story and what was going on, or listening to the TV in the background playing while you're working on something else. So the voice quality is hugely important, and you want that to carry over for people who maybe might be on a train and can't watch your video at the time. So
you mean like
optimize the voice first.
This is Paul Harvey. Good day.
Yeah, I love Paul. Paul was great.
All right. So we will be back next week, probably without Dr. Kayvon Kay again, since he is in Mexico City. He's probably just downing taco after taco, and he's at some tequila bar in a barrio, one of the bad sections of Mexico City.
Nice.
I don't know what he's doing. He just informed us. I mean, by the way, so this is, and just to end this, we do know for a fact that this is whoops, where's my little cursor?
The revolution's beginning.
This is what he looks like right now. So
no.
Okay. All right. So we'll be back next week. We still don't know what our topic is for next week, but maybe we'll go back to we'll go back to our famous spreadsheet full of topics for you on the Marketing Happy Hour. And today we are not going to do Clubhouse because
taking a break.
I'm all clubbed out for today. I've been in the
Yeah.
club way too much lately. All right. So if you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, if you love us, hate us, or are fairly neutral, put
Anything
them
at all.
down below the video here. And we will come up. And if you want a topic, a particular thing covered in the Marketing Happy Hour, just let us know. And we will take that under advisement. And maybe you'll get a shout out when your topic is covered. So if it's 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or any place in between, on a Wednesday, it's the Hump Day Marketing Happy Hour. So